Hey everybody, this is Kyle. It's about 2:20 a.m. on Sunday morning, August 9th, 2020. I wanted to do a little live streamy poo and just talk to everybody. I've got some things to show. Kind of wanted to talk about Trump's cryptic remarks and just hang out. Getting targeted pretty bad, but doing a little bit better, and I hope you guys are doing okay. Hey, Ann. Ann says, hey, Kyle, how are you doing tonight? Are you up all night? You getting sleep deprivation? I kind of realized that, you know, they gave me sleep deprivation when I have important appointments and stuff like that. But I realized that my sleep deprivation is the vagus nerve stimulation. It's jacking up my vagus nerve, and my vagus nerve stimulation affects my brain, and I think that's my form of sleep deprivation. Hey Hesh, Hesh says hi. Hey Arachno Nixon, Arachno Nixon says hey Ann, Kyle, and everyone. Hey Tansy, hey Drunken Ninja. What happened with the Orange Man? He's going underground. I've got a theory about it. I want to show y'all some other people's theories. And there's what he just said outright, right? There's like he's cutting out the middleman. He's doing rebates, so it's going to cut out the middleman on pharmaceuticals. It's going to make medicines cheaper, and he's making some really rich people angry, right? And so he's got it. Maybe you won't see him for a couple of days because those rich pharmaceutical middlemen maybe going after him, But I think, and I'll get to this later, I think that was a front. I think he was saying that in his Donald Trump kind of flair, like, I'm the hero of the people, I'm making pharmaceuticals cheaper, and I'm in trouble for that. But I think that there is another reason why he is going underground at this time, and it's right in our faces. Like, the reason that he's going underground is right in our faces, but maybe some of us are not thinking about that. Now, what I wish it was, right, as a targeted individual, as somebody being blasted by directed energy weapons, mind control, mind rape is the only thing I can say. Mind churned up, remote neural manipulation. I wish he was going underground because he was gonna, battle. Like he's like, okay, the UN thing is coming up where they're gonna reveal that directed energy weapon torture, cyber torture, and I'm gonna get a head start on it, and I'm gonna start, taking down any of these contractors and making sure this torture stops. I wish that was what's going on, but it's not. It's probably not. Yeah, Drunken Ninja says the world's richest is a delivery boy. Think about it. Who, Donald Trump is a delivery boy? Yeah, Gloria Queen says Donald Trump is not on our side. Yeah, I agree. He does do some good things. He does some good things to, kind of keep America nationalized, but I think he's a puppet. I think he doesn't understand the big picture, and so he's used. He's used by the pyramidal structure. Um, you know, so but you want to believe that he's good. Oh yeah, Drunkenness says Jeff Bezos. Yeah, the richest man is a delivery boy. It's true. Just where everybody goes. They go online to get all their stuff. That bald freak. He's making so much money. Yeah, and Carlos says we are the swamp. Yeah, America's like the worst empire. But there's other countries like manipulating us. Everybody's like feeding on America. And the thing about America that I think is still special is the spirit of freedom. The spirit of the republic lives in the people. It's being murdered, right? But it's like my parents taught me, about our freedom and to be responsible, and that everybody should be able to be free to do what they want to do, and we should really take care of ourselves and help people when they're in trouble, like other countries and stuff like that. That spirit is like about to die out, right? It's like in its death throes, and people are hanging on to it, and that's what I love about America. I love the spirit of what you know, our founding fathers created. It's very real, like to the people in this country. Now, what's really going on in America is a different story. And Carla says, "Oh, he understands college." So, and you think that Donald Trump knows that there's like a new world takeover and that they're going to genocide, you know, billions of people, and you know, and they're going to bring in a neuro society. You think he knows all about all those agendas? See, I don't think so. I don't think that he knows how evil it is, because if he did, he wouldn't be a puppet for him. And he's doing some things, like he's doing some really weird things to kind of stave it off, right? He blurted out that stuff about what's it called? I can't remember the name right now. Hydrochloroquine. He's done some things that are kind of they're not going along with the plan. You know, I know it is a left-right paradigm, but the left really wants him out of there. The globalists really hate him. The deep state really hates him. You know, so I don't think he's doing as good of a job for him as they want him to. I don't think he knows the big plan. I don't think anybody like down the pyramid knows how far these people are going to go. I think they have delusions, like Donald Trump has delusions of what's going to happen kind of in his head, and he doesn't know how bad what they're going for is. He doesn't know how bad they want to poison people. You know, he's made it easier for 5G, the 5G infrastructure to be put up, and he's like, we want to be number one in America with 5G. I don't think he understands how deadly it is. And I don't think he's told like about a lot of these mind control projects. I think he's like, maybe he knows like, okay, well, they're testing out some neuro weapons and stuff like that, but he doesn't know like how bad it is, because it's like this plausible deniability. I think we'd be surprised how much some of those people that are being puppeteered and they are going along with the New World Order, we'd be surprised at how much they don't know about the big picture. It's like my attackers, I know they're not the president or anything like that, but they're microwaving me, they're remote neural manipulating me, doing some sophisticated mind control stuff that they didn't know about any of this pandemic, or how far it would go, or like how you know, how it's in the process, the New World Order is in the process of ripping apart America, you know, to bring in the New World Order. They didn't know any of that. They know nothing. They know their little compartmentalized task. That's why they're able to do their job or whatever. Gloria says they chose a good puppet to fool us by saying all the right things when he ran for president. Yeah. And I think he's kind of clueless. He's clueless about a lot of stuff. So he plays his role really good. Like, I mean, he plays his role really good because he's like kind of clueless about a lot of things. He really thinks that he's going to make America stronger, and then he's going to cut a deal, and maybe a New World Order is going to come in, but he'll get to, you know, he'll get to save America or whatever. He may actually think that. He may actually think that he can kind of work with Israel, and they'll go ahead and create these two empires and stuff like that and become powerful, and it's not just this global thing. You know, I don't think he understands the full global plan. James Lyko does. James Lyko says, in my opinion, I think he knows about everything. He'd have to be a really, really, really super intelligent, the best actor in the world, smartest man in the world to really know about the full agenda and like say the things he does and do the things he does. He'd have to be the most brilliant super mind that ever existed. But maybe he does. Hey, Karen. Karen says, hi, guys. Hi, Kyle. Tandy says, yeah, Ninja, they don't want China doing their job for them. Oh, Ninja said, maybe 5G has something to do with the mind control and they don't want China to manipulate us. Yeah, 5G is it's active denial. So 60 gigahertz and other gigahertz that can affect the mind. But the thing is, the weapons grid, like what we get hit with if it's targeted individuals, is 5G, 6G, 7G, maybe beyond, right? So 5G is just being rolled out to the public, but 5G was being used as a weapon for many, many years, like 50 years before 5G even, was a consumer thing. They're hitting us with 6G and 7G, and they're planning on rolling those out. I forgot what 6G is, but I know 7G is photonic energy. 7G is photonic energy that connects with our DNA. It actually is light energy that lights up our DNA. So y'all think that Trump is like this mastermind and he is not a puppet, that he knows what the New World Order is bringing in, that he knows the New World Order is going to destroy America, that he knows the New World Order is going to try and kill billions of people? Like, y'all think he knows about all that? I don't know. I think there's different level of knowledge to get these people to be the puppets that they are. And it seems like he does try and do some good stuff. And I mean, I guess that would be part of the plan, though. It's like if all these people, like these politicians, know the full score, like know the big picture, then they're geniuses. They're genius actors that have full control over their emotions. Like they're the most genius people, like evil, but evil geniuses that have ever existed. I think there's a necessity to keep people in the dark about larger plans. And not comparing my attackers to Donald Trump, but it's kind of like on that microcosm, macrocosm scale. My attackers are doing this mind control and working with the gang stalking and everything, and doing the directed energy weapons, but they don't know the full picture of how many people are being tortured, of what it's going to lead to, is if they're going to be killed after they finish their job. If they knew everything, they really wouldn't cooperate, and they would be like on our side if they knew the full darkness of the plan. So I think that the top of the pyramid, it's like necessary to keep certain puppets only knowing like compartmentalized knowledge. Like, oh, well, maybe they tell Donald Trump, well, a new world order is going to come in. Yeah, we're experimenting on some people and stuff like that. But, America's going to stick around. It's going to be an empire nation, They tell them certain things, tell them certain lies to keep them going. I don't know, though. Maybe he does. Maybe he knows everything. Just doesn't seem like that. Seems like he's a businessman kind of doing his part or whatever for all this, but to know the whole plan, I don't know. Gloria says, plus Hillary Clinton was so wicked, she had no connection with majority of Americans. My vote was not so much for Trump as it was a vote against Hillary. Well, I'm going to vote for Trump. Like this election, I'm gonna actually vote for Trump. I was watching that interview with him on it was on HBO, and I forget what the name of the show was. I forget what the name of the show was, but I was looking at the comments. And everybody's like, man, what a blundering retard. I can't believe it. Trump's such an idiot and stuff like that. And I was just thinking about it, and I was like, man, we live like in a world of critics who don't do anything, and yet they like what Trump does in a morning. If any of those people who were commenting ever had to do that, they would like curl up in a ball and die. Like Trump is not an idiot. Like he's a businessman who does more things in the first few hours of the morning than most people do all year. It's just amazing to see them like say like, oh, he's such a buffoon, like because like maybe he says something incorrectly, like he mispronounced he said Yosemite instead of Yosemite because he was reading something, and you never hear the end of it. Oh my God, what a buffoon, what an idiot! But he's like making medicines more affordable. I mean, he's like cutting out the middlemen and and giving rebates back. I mean, he's doing all this stuff. He is doing some good stuff. I mean, I look at what he's doing, like maybe he's a part, He's a part of the pyramid and the part of the plan. But he's doing good things. Like he's doing good things for America, and it seems like he's trying to ways, like staving back a lot of the damage that the CV has done, that the lockdown has done. And he's constantly saying, we need to go back to work. We need to get people back to work. This is going to disappear. It's really weird how he says, like, this is going to disappear. And when he says it, there's a certain confidence level to that. When he says this is going to disappear, and it makes me question, because people are like, this isn't going to disappear. CV is going to be around forever. And it's just more waves of viruses are going to come, and this is going to be, the lockdowns going to be forever. But the way that Donald Trump said this is going to disappear soon, it kind of makes me wonder, like if it will disappear, and then we'll have another crisis. Right? We're having tons of crises right now. Bombs going off everywhere. Beirut and Panama City. I can't get ahead of myself and tell you all my theory of why I think Trump went underground. Arachno Nixon says, I think he knows too, but he just doesn't care. Seems like he cares a little bit about Americans. I don't know. It'd be nice to know. It'd be nice to know for sure. But it is that left versus right. It's like he has to look like he's helping. He has to, because he wouldn't put 5G in. That's my main thing. He wouldn't be so friendly with Israel and let them, pull us around by the chain. And he wouldn't be trying to make America #1 in 5G. The kind of stuff the military-industrial complex does, I'm just like, nobody is given full knowledge of that. And nobody's given like full knowledge of what the people at the very top of the pyramid are planning for all of this. They all have like their little compartmentalized knowledge so they can do their job. It's like Elon Musk, he's definitely a part of this, but he's like completely going against, like he hates the lockdown. Like he wants everybody to go back to work. He's moving out of California. Joe Rogan, who a lot of people say is a shill, he's moving out of California. He hates the lockdown, I guess they play their little parts, though. It's like, yeah, these people can be mad about the lockdown, and then the left can be mad about this. And it's kind of just a show. They're playing at such advanced levels. Hesh74 says, I think he understands that globalists want to destroy individual governments, even if he doesn't know about TIs. I think he probably does know about TIs. Yeah. Alan, hey Alan, hey David. David says Zaphod Beeblebrox 2020. Zaphod Beeblebrox 2020. Is that a real person? Kanye's still running. Kanye's going to pull away some of the some voters from Biden. Is that a real person? Arachno Nixon says, I'm voting for Vermin Supreme. I'm going to vote for Trump. Like, I mean, I know that people are like, the lesser of two evils is still evil. But, if we don't vote for Trump, then people are going to vote for Biden. And if Biden gets in there, the targeting is going to be worse. He's going to keep everybody locked down way longer. There will be a lot worse, a lot more communistic stuff. It'll be very dangerous, so. Yeah, Gloria Aquino says, I agree, James. In my opinion, if he didn't know what was going on, he knows a lot more now. Mostly that he has no real power. He needs to follow orders or be eliminated. Yeah. Yeah, Rachnick says that's why he's super pro-Israel. Yeah, I think there's two factions. I think there's like in the pyramid, there's the neocon Zionists, and then there's you know, basically what Hillary Clinton and Obama and the communists, kind of the communist kid-killing Satan worshipers. There's those two factions, and I think that people up near the top, they're picking one or the other, right? And so Trump is like pro-Zionist, pro-Israel. I think Alex Jones is, you know, like Joe Rogan, people like that. They're on the kind of the Zionist side, and it's like at least they're not at least they're not Satanist kid killers. But they still want the New World Order coming in. They just want it done in a certain way, right? These two factions want it to happen a different way, but they want the same thing to happen. They want a global governance to happen. I sometimes think, though, that maybe the neocons, the Zionists, is that the neocon? Is that the right word? But the Zionist faction, I think they might not want to do as much genocide. I think they want the New World Order to come in, but they don't want so much genocide. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You know, who knows? Who knows? Drunken Ninja says the NWO doesn't want him. He made a fool of himself too many times. Who, Trump? Yeah, everybody in the comment section at HBO, he's a moron. I mean, he's just such a moron. Like, he's just a blundering dunderhead. He's just the stupidest person in it. Like, he's not stupid. Like, he's a really smart businessman. Like, he's every day. I mean, he's like traveling from state to state and doing multiple rallies and everything like that, doing everything transparent, right? Like all of his, you know, all of his updates and everything and press conferences he does in front of the public. When he meets with somebody, they do it on TV. It's all in front of the public and on TV and all these different things. Yeah, and people are he's just such a moron. Just an it, like he just says one word wrong or something like that, or he mispronounces a couple. Oh, what an idiot! What an idiot! And I look at that and I'm like, we have a world of critics and cynics who, if you just stay on the sidelines and you say some smart stuff and you just don't put yourself out there, you can look good. Like, if you put yourself out there, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to say things wrong. You're going to, like, if you're putting yourself out there all the time and doing stuff all the time, you're going to make mistakes. And we have a world where people are just like, yeah, dumb is, and then they just stay and they don't do anything. And that's kind of what I see. And I'm like, we're dead. We're so dead because we have a world of people who don't do anything and they're like, I know everything. Yeah, that's because I mean, at least, I mean, he's doing stuff and doing some good stuff. I actually think he's doing good stuff. I guess I'm in the minority on my own live stream. He's doing a lot of good stuff for people. I guess it's all leading to, it seems like he's fighting against the lockdown. He's fighting against the CV virus just completely wiping out the economy, right? It seems like he's on that side. If it's a play, if it's acting, he's on that side of doing it. He's on that tit for tat thing, you know. And he doesn't want our cities to be burned down. Like, I mean, that's a good thing. So some things I like, but I think I agree with y'all in total. In total, you know, it's part of a play. It's part of a left versus right, you know. I think it's targeted individuals. We know that. See, David Irwin says, I don't think he knows anything Mossad doesn't tell him. That's true. And he said, you know, for Ghislaine Maxwell, he's like, I wish her well. Like, I wish her well. And he was in the interview, and I wish I could remember the name of the interview. Like, it's kind of like a Vice show on HBO. And they asked him about it. The guy was like, you just said you wish Ghislaine Maxwell well. And he was like, well, yeah, her boyfriend was either suicide, maybe was killed, but he died in prison. So he didn't even say Jeffrey Epstein. And, you know, he's hung around Jeffrey Epstein. He's been on the Lolita Express. You know, people are saying that because he was like, "Oh, I wish her well," that, you know, he's asking her nicely not to reveal him. But I'm not so I'm just not so sure if Trump is into the into, like, you know, the ped stuff. I just, because, like, he, you know, he has a family and everything. I think he's hung out with Jeffrey Epstein, and so he's connected in some way. But I just don't know if he's done like the Bill Clinton kind of stuff. I guess if you're hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, it's bad enough, you know. Tansy says he could be under mind control, and they make him say that stuff. They always need controlled opposition. Yeah. Yeah, Tansy says, remember, they can control face and body movements too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Alan says, Trump said our own government isn't innocent. It has a lot of bad guys, not innocent. It's just weird how the deep state is so against him. Like the deep state, the people who are murdering us, you know, they're so again, they want him out of there. Like everybody in the deep state, everybody in the military industrial complex. Now you've got some military people in the DOD and certain agencies, but they seem to be they're not making a whole lot of money on the very evil stuff. The people making a lot of money on the really, really evil stuff, they hate Trump and they want him out of there. Because I think they want a more communistic technocracy. Could be just for show, though. You know, it could just be just for show because things are pretty complicated. Yeah, James Stewart says, I have no faith in our government whatsoever. I want to have faith, but yeah, there's just too many glaring things, especially the 5G thing. The 5G ties to Israel, you know, and it's like, and Israel wants to destroy America. Like there's a bunch of dual citizens in here, and the plan is for their kind of prophecies, Kabbalists, Talmudists, like, you know, Netanyahu, you know, Israel was involved in 9/11. Is my channel going to get taken down for saying that? But like Israel wants America destroyed, you know, wants America destroyed, and it wants a global government because it goes along with some top Zionist prophecies about the Moshiach coming in, you know, America being overrun by, you know, basically immigrants and everything like that. And that's part of the prophecy. And then for Zionists to rule over, you know, the Goyim and stuff like that. There are a lot of people at the top. And I'm not saying Jays. There's a lot of great Jewish people. It's kind of like I'm a white person, and then there are Masons that are white, right? And that's how kind of like Zionists, some are Jews, some are not Jews, but Zionists, the beliefs are bad. The beliefs are bad about like the Moshiach coming in. And they call Trump like Cyrus, right? That he's going to usher in this like prophetic time. I guess Trump is pretty smooth. I mean, he's not dumb. Like, I mean, that's for sure. I mean, all the stuff that he does and how he does it, and he gives speeches all the time. And I mean, like, he's in meetings all the time and stuff like that, which is part of my theory. It's just, it's, at least we got to be honest. Like, people on the left should be honest when they're just like, oh, he's so dumb. And they're people that don't do anything at all. And he's like, every day he has this itinerary of doing all these really complicated things. And he messes up saying a word, and they're like, what a blundering buffoon that we have as a president. And he's like working all these different angles. I just think that kind of sums up the world. We need, like, our forefathers were doers. Like the reason why they succeeded and got away from tyranny for a while is they were doers, you know. And we're not, like, in the world, like the mass percentage of people. I mean, I'm not, like, I do videos and stuff, but like I don't do enough, right? And it's like we got a world full of like critics, and it's safer to kind of stay on the sideline and be like, what a buffoon, dummy, he said a word wrong. We've got a society where if you do everything's under the microscope, right? And if you say one thing wrong, you can just be destroyed, canceled, right? You say something non-PC, you mispronounce a word, you make a gaffe, right? And it makes more people not want to stand up and like do important things. And I mean, that's part of the conditioning. That's part of like the plan to make everything like that. So when people stand up and do stuff, it's like, boom, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you if you say one word wrong. We need to like not care as much, like everyone, and do important things in the world. And then we'll have more of a chance of beating the New World Order. I don't know. I think we're going to have a collapse anyway. But like I said, I really do have a lot of hope for us getting out of the targeting. What do y'all think about the UN? Like, yeah, I mean, like everybody's like, yeah, the UN is corrupt and they're not going to do anything for us. It's sad because we're always talking about how like we want to end the targeting and everything like that, and we've got like the best setup of this compartment. Niels Melzer in the UN, he's gonna declare this. He's already declared it. I've already convinced like my people in my family way more just because of the stuff before October. I don't know what's going on. It makes me a little bit like, I'm like, what's happening? I guess everything's just crazy, but everybody's just like, no, we got to stop this targeting. But no, the UN's, they're gathering information on us and they're corrupt. And I'm like, what's happening here? Like, this is something we can use. This is something, that we can talk about. We can bring out. We can go to, I'm gonna like whatever said in October. I'm gonna start bringing that to doctors and getting more medical evidence. Not only another DTI, but I'm gonna try and like get some doctors to look at the vagus nerve stuff, and also for implants with that information of cyber torture and all those things. I guess everything's just insane. Like everything's just crazy. And like, I'm not insulting anybody who's saying that. I know we don't trust anybody, but we still have to take some risk. Like we still have to, and I don't think the UN is like gathering our information. Our information's already gathered from these programs, right? It's kind of it's weird. I'm gonna get excited about anything that's hopeful, that gives us a chance. Like I'm going for it, because we see so many bad things. We can talk about all the bad things that are happening, but like it's so hopeful, and people are just like, nah, the UN, it's corrupt. But we got to find a way to stop this. Am I insane? Have I gone insane? Like I just don't understand. David said he could just be playing politics and giving a plausible reason to stay out of the limelight while the Dems keep Biden out of it. Well, it's like Biden is like 7 points ahead of Donald Trump. And I think the reason for that is like, just because all these bad things are happening in the world, Donald Trump gets blamed for it, right? It's like the coronavirus, the riots, and people are just like, yeah, he was the president, it's his fault. But it's really like the New World Order. It's this pandemic and all these things, all these false flags happening, and people are just like, yeah, it's Donald Trump. It's so wicked to see how set up it is. Yeah, I guess so. Our government does suck. I don't think our government's the big problem. I think it's the deep state. It's the people we don't elect. Our government's corrupt too if it doesn't stop it. If our governments aren't stopping this stuff and they're just going along with it, the true evil are these people, these globalists that we don't elect, and then the military industrial complex that we don't elect. Karen says, I wonder if the stalkers and controllers are all under mind control. Wouldn't be surprised if Satan has everyone controlled and manipulated. Someday we might know it all. Yeah. There's just so much of this mind control going on. So much intense targeting that's going on all around the world. I just don't see how it can stay hidden, because they need it coming out so people will be hooked up to the Internet of Things, and people are going to have to know at a certain point. They're going to have to know about some of these things so bigger markets can emerge for it, and that, you know, the New World Order can hook everybody up to it. So what that means is it's going to have to change from a, like, you know, for a certain percentage of the population getting intensely top secret targeted, to a more people actually knowing about it. It's going to have to, for the evil plans to move forward, which sucks. But it's like, for us, it's like, well, at least we can get out of the intense torture. That's kind of what I see. And I see that maybe even, like, maybe the UN is allowing Niels Melzer to pursue this, you know, and it's kind of a part of a planned reveal. Now, that's bad. It's bad in the long run, and we're going to have to fight those things. But in the short run, if this can be revealed, my family can understand, we can get out of this. You know, more awareness about these technologies can get out to everybody. Things can be quickened. I'm going for that, man. Yeah, Arachno Nixon says Trump strings us along. Yeah. Do we? I thought he was taking troops out. David says, is he though? We still have troops in Afghanistan. I thought he was getting the troops out of Afghanistan. I think, well, let me not give away my my theory. Yeah, Arachno Nixon says this whole presidency is designed to string us along. Yeah, Gloria Aquino says he recently said that he has military power to enforce the vaccine on all Americans. For all he's done, this is the worst. Yeah. But he hasn't done it yet. Let's keep that in mind. He hasn't enforced a vaccine yet with the military. We got to keep that in mind. We've got to get ready if he does, but there's a lot of really complicated maneuvers going. And I'm not saying like Trump is this all good guy and like he's saying like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, enforce the vaccine, but then maybe not. But he might be saying that and then maybe not. But I'm not saying he's an all around good guy. You know, just saying some things that have been said then don't happen, but it has to be said. It has to be said at the time. You know. And I'm not saying like Trump is, but on a level, I do believe this, guys. I don't believe that Trump is like Mr. all good and powerful, you know, angel, right? But I do believe that he is against the deep state. So he is doing some things that it's like trick maneuvers. He is against the deep state. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. He is against the deep state. He's not in with the deep state, but he has his own things with Israel and in Mossad and things like that that are very bad, right? So how all this complication kind of plays out, it would be interesting if our lives weren't at stake, right? We weren't being, you know, murdered in our homes and then worse to come. But I still have like a hope that because all this technology has to come to the forefront. The knowledge has to get, and we can't just keep moving on year after year, and everybody's hooked in, right, neurally to the Internet of Things, and people are like, what you talking about? Electromagnetic frequencies, directed energy? What's that? You know, and they're just a part of everyday life, right? It can't happen like that. You know, so I have a lot of hope for at least that to change. We'll be in a much better position to you know, look at things and the way things are going, and fully see the collapse in 4K. Gloria said he recently said that he has military power to enforce the vaccine on all Americans. Oh wait, you already read that. Tansy said, do you Americans have to vote for the two main parties, or do you have more to choose from? A bunch. You can vote independent. You can vote for people that, what is it, the Green Party, Independent, like Libertarian Party, a bunch of different options. But for me, I don't know, and I don't know about you guys. I just see it as that's going to be a waste. It'd be a waste to like vote for Kanye, or it'd be a waste to vote for like somebody in the Green Party. For me, because it's such a crucial election where I do not want Joe Biden to get elected. Like, Trump has done some good things that has like helped my family in some ways. It's helped me in some ways. I think that if Hillary Clinton won the election, I'd be dead, and there would be a whole lot more targets, right? Because Obama was the one who came out with the brain initiative, right? And that was before my target. Like, if Obama wouldn't have created the brain initiative, I doubt that I would have been overtly targeted and that it would be so bad. And you got to remember, people on the left, they're about feeding people to the state. At least on the right, with conservative values, like Republicans with conservative values, it's more about like, oh, they're corrupt and stuff like that, maybe working for the New World Order. But they're going to have to play to their base. They have to play to their base, who is small government, and let me do what I want to do. And I don't want, and we want capitalism. We want to be able to go out and work and do our own thing. We don't want a communist society. We don't want to be fed to the state. We want to worship God, right? You have more people on the right who are for small government, for conservative values, for being able to worship God and stuff like that, and thinking that God is God and God is not the state, right? So it staves off. It may not stop the New World Order from coming in, but and you can see it with Trump. It's mucked up the works. Maybe on purpose, right? Maybe to placate some people. I don't know. It's complicated. But it's better than just having a bunch of Democrats in office they're going to streamline it in. And I mean, things that people be on a universal basic income by now, nobody even be able to like work for more than a universal basic income. We'd all be being fed to the state. There'd be way more targets. James Stewart says SpaceX, stalkers, mind control, all in the same boat, and there's an unfixable hole in the hull. Yeah, I think it's just it's like a asymmetrical warfare here. The pandemic was the big one, and then they're going to use the pandemic, that chaos, to do, oh, we got the riots and destruction, doing mind control up in Oregon, and they're tearing that down. Then we're bringing the wolf in the gates, right? You got Wolf, who's the head of the DHS, and the protesters and rioters and BLM and Antifa. That's your left-right paradigm right there. Those are the two controlled domestic groups in this domestic war, right? And so you're going to have DHS Fusion Center grabbing more power from that, but then you're also, this other side's going to be used too. They're going to gain more power because people are going to be like, oh, we're fighting DHS, right? So building up of those two factions inside of our walls. And who loses? We do. The middle Americans who want to go about their business and their own lives, we lose on everything. On everything with the controlled factions fighting, we're the ones that lose. Gloria Aquino says it's all part of the deception. Yeah. Drunken Ninja says UN is a big part of the NWO. I agree, and they're going for Agenda 2021, Agenda 2030. Whenever I've talked about the UN investigation stuff, I've said that. But they're big organizations where you got compartments inside of them. You've got crusaders inside of them that are allowed to do certain things. They're allowed to go off and speak about this, and then sometimes you get the left hand not knowing what the right hand's doing. I don't think you can go I don't think you can say like the UN. You can say the UN is a corrupt globalist organization, right? It has globalists above it controlling it, but we can't say like, well, let's throw that out because of that. Let's throw out the whole entire thing. Like, let's not even look into it. Like, at least you guys that are like the UN is completely corrupt. And I believe this too, right? But I'm like, yeah, I think what Niels Melzer's doing good. He's working with Julian Assange. Like, there's these good things already coming off of it. But I think you guys that are like, oh, they're just collecting our information and It's you know, they're not going to do anything. I don't understand that part. Like, it's not going to do anything for us. It's already done stuff for me. Like, I've already convinced my grandma more. I've already convinced my mom more. My psychiatrist is working with me. I'm bringing in information to her. I'm already figuring out how to bring in information to doctors so I can get more help from doctors. You know, I'm thinking of more stuff I can do with even information before. So I don't understand. It's not computing like this isn't going to help us, because it's already helped me. Like, and if we take it, the UN has declared that cyber torture exists, right? And we go to the mainstream media on that. That's a huge breakthrough. I don't understand the part where it's like that's not going to help us. Like, I don't understand that. Like, so I guess people that are saying, and no, I'm not saying anybody specific. A lot of people are saying this. A lot of people are saying this, but you guys that are just like, no, that's like to trap us, and Niels Melzer's an operative of the New World Order or whatever. Look into it, study it, research it, follow the threads, like, you know, read everything about it, speak with other targeted individuals about it. I don't know. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to stop going, well, for all you guys, it's a good thing, and I'm going to like move forward on it. It can free us. It can help to free us. And it can actually even help. We have somebody to give evidence to if there's investigative parties within our countries. And you got to think about it this way, like, if it was just a United States organization that was like, hey, we need to look into this targeting. People are being targeted. Russia and China and other big countries would keep going with their weapons programs, and the military-industrial complex in the United States no way would they ever respond to that or change anything. Now, with the UN doing it where it's a unilateral move and it's going to affect all countries with these weapons programs, there might be some kind of treaty that we might not even know about, where countries pull back from that type of experimentation and start doing things in a different way. You know, it's a huge complicated thing. It's not like I can sit on a YouTube video and be like, well, this is how it's going to happen exactly. That's retarded. That's, you know, not going to happen. But we can at least like kind of know what directions could it go in. You know, I think there's too much generalization, right? The UN is corrupt. Agenda 2021 is corrupt. Agenda 2030 is corrupt. There's globalists above the UN, right? But the world's too complicated to, like, everything's corrupt, nothing's going to work. What? You know, I don't get that. Like, there's tons of moving parts, tons of good people in the world, tons of good people working for the DOD. There's even some good people working for the FBI. I don't know about the CIA, but there's like good people everywhere that are in organizations that can't really do anything, and they kind of do their compartmentalized job. What if things shift so they can? What if things shift so that they can do different things? You know, that they can push back, that they can reach some justice, right? It's going to be the New World Order's coming in, but that doesn't mean that nobody can do anything good in the world anymore. That's for sure, like a for sure thing. James Stewart says, targeting will never end, brother. It's going to go on forever. Anthony says, we need to not consent. Yeah, we don't consent. We do not consent. Yeah, you know, this technology is going to be around forever, like neuro weapons and things like that. In what form, though? This top secret, people being raped in their homes and everybody thinking they're mentally ill. No, it's not going to be that way forever. As a matter of fact, I mean, that's the whole looking into the UN investigation. It's about changing this so that it's like they may move on to experiment on people with quantum energy or something. Like, maybe they even do that now, but it's like to bring awareness out about a technology, and consumer markets opening up, and everybody knows about electromagnetic frequencies to connect people to the Internet of Things. That changes it so somebody can't just be secretly murdered in their home and their family not know about it and they can't get any help, right? Like, I think maybe we're trying to, when things are changing so rapidly, and it's like they can change in ways that they've never changed before, in bad ways too, but also we don't know where things are going to go. For people to say, yeah, we're just always going to be targeted just like this forever. I don't know. It's a complicated road of how things might change, you know, with the UN investigation and stuff. But change, like, how's it going to go? You know, how's it going to go? And nobody can say they know how it's going to go, you know. Rose says, does anybody have any ideas as to how we could stop our gang stalking besides the UN? Anthony says, you're a fool for that, Kyle, but I still respect you. A fool for what? You said we need to not consent. And I said, yeah, we definitely need to not consent. System is rigged. Yeah, I think Donald Trump was elected. Okay. Kyle, please change the subject. You bobbed on good old Donnie boy. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, let's hey Tanya. Tanya says, love you, Kyle. Thank you for all your help. Yeah, let's hey, let's look at some of this stuff that I want to show about let's see. So put out that video where Donald Trump was saying, you know, maybe the last time you see me for a good while. And I wanted to show some other people you know, some of their takes on it. Other president. Let's watch STG report. He had a pretty good take on it. I've kind of got a theory. Ooh, it's the wrong one. Let me go back. Hopefully my attackers won't freeze things up. I had a bunch of stuff up tonight, coming on, you know, getting ready for the live stream, and had a bunch of stuff ready for the live stream, and it's like I clicked on my Google Chrome and everything disappeared. Like everything that I had pulled up just disappeared, just totally. And I had to go look at, I had to go back into like my history and stuff like that. Yeah, James says, I wonder if you can be stalked by owing a lot of debt. I guess so. If you had the some people who you owed the debt to who were maybe connected to the program. Hey, New Type, what's up, man? Who's Ilsa? Who's Ilsa? Anthony says, also, any perps reading this, come meet me on the trails by my house in 15 minutes. I'll be there alone. No Whining says, anyone that thinks that we have any say is not paying attention. That's just, I can't, that's a bad, I don't want to say it's a bad thing. It's just, we as living human beings with God on our side, we can affect our families and our communities. And like, I've made change just with a YouTube channel and activism, and things have changed. Like all the targeted individuals who have spoken out. It's why we have the UN investigation going. Like if everybody, if every target individual is just like, we're all getting tortured, and nobody spoke out. Like say it started and everybody's being targeted, and like nobody did conference calls and nobody spoke out on YouTube. We don't have any say. We're just going to be tortured. We don't have any say. The New World Order is just going to come in. This UN investigation wouldn't be happening. I think the New World Order would have taken over 20 years ago, like if everybody did not go out and protest and fight for their rights. So it holds things back and it shifts things to take action. While you're doing that, right, it might still happen, right? You might have a collapse of society. Evil comes in and does what evil does, but you still have good people, living through that, helping each other, right? But when you try and shift things and do what's right, God jumps in there, God gets in there, and then miracles can happen. So it's like, okay, you're trying to change things. Maybe the New World Order comes in, maybe there's a systems collapse. You're still a good person, you're helping people, you help your family, you do your best. You stay with God, you try and spread light around the world, during those dark times. However, maybe things change for the better. Maybe the New World Order is stopped. Maybe some other people get into power. Maybe things change, But it's like you don't try at all, and then there's 0% of that ever happening, of there being a change, or there being a shift, or holding it back, right? Y'all know how I believe. I just believe in huge miracles. I believe in huge miracles. I've experienced huge miracles. That's why I get on these videos. I want y'all to try the defenses. I want you guys to speak out. When you experience it, it's like people can say no, it's going to be forever. You can't really change it. And it's just like, no, I've experienced it. I've changed it. I've experienced you can change everything. Even when I'm being murdered, for all these years, because I've tried and I've done things, it's completely changed the game board. It's completely, good things have happened. God has entered into my life. Oh, really? And really bad things have happened too. Biggie says, I feel the evil creepy. Yeah. David Irwin says, gotta keep trying while you're still alive, though, even if it's just to live a decent life. Yeah. And just to do the best you can. New Type says, I think money is pretty relevant to us, and so is debt, though they are real weapons they use against us. Bottom line is they think they own us and everything we think and do. Yeah. New World Order at the top. They think that we are cattle. They see us as cattle. Feed off our energy. They feed off our work and everything like that. And then a lot of people are saying, I kind of see this. It's like, well, now they can get robots to do a lot of the work, so they don't need us around, So trying to kill a bunch of people. Gloria says, I believe all of Washington is going underground because that red comet is going to come close or collide with Earth in November, and God will have the attention of the whole world and good will come. Yeah, that'd be cool. Comet? Going to collide with the Earth pretty soon, November. Hey, Lori. Lori says, I can definitely feel them. I try to ignore. Yeah. See if I can find this. I love SGT report. He's a Q person, and he does think Trump is going to save us. I don't know. I see Trump holding some things back, but I mean, people in this chat hate Trump. Maybe some people don't. I mean, but I know that he kind of belongs to the top of the pyramid. I question how much they know. Dare do this. I love SGT report though, even though I don't agree with him that Q is I don't think Q is who they say they are, and I definitely don't think Trump is gonna save America. Still like him, real smart guy. Did my attackers already start freezing things up? didn't even want to say anything about it tonight. So I was just hoping they would, if I didn't say anything about it, they'd just let me do my live stream. We're just kind of hanging out. It's like 3 in the morning, so it's not really a big deal. Okay, I kind of want to play this. Wait. My sound sucks, guys. My sound really sucks. It's and I don't know if I'm gonna have to get some kind of audio player, but I want to try and do this with my headphones on and see if you guys can hear it. See if you guys can hear this. I need y'all's feedback. So I'm going to open up my chat room right here. Okay, y'all let me know. Hold on. Yeah, Arachno Nixon says I don't hate Trump. Just don't trust him based on his actions. Yeah, me too. Yeah, some of the big things he's done, some of the small things he's done, and the things he's done for the country, and kind of pushing back against the lockdown. He wants kids to go back to school. He's kind of like, he did wear a mask and everything like that. A lot of those that just. I know a lot of you guys are saying that's like an act. It just didn't seem like an act. It seemed like it's kind of like what he's representing. But he represents a lot of bad stuff too. I guess things are like, sometimes it's not just like, I can't be like, oh, everything Trump's doing is just New World Order evil. It's like some things he's doing I like, but yeah, these huge things that he's doing aren't. Hey, you guys tell me. You guys tell me if y'all can hear this, okay? Tell me if you can hear anything. Can y'all hear that? Can you guys hear that? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Tell me if you guys can hear this. No, it's okay. I cannot hear that. Ah, my sound sucks. It's like too loud. The level is too the level is too loud. I guess I'm gonna have to buy some kind of audio player. Okay, we'll just play it tonight off of this. Sound sucks so bad. I just need to change the settings. I'll change the settings next time. See if I can change the settings in my StreamYard. I'm not going to do it tonight. It's probably really easy to do. Hey, Elizabeth. How you doing? Hear a ping noise, Arachno Nixon? Okay. Buddy hole. Buddy. Drunken Ninja says, Corona numbers are inflated. Like if I had Rona and died in a car accident, it would be classified as a Corona death. Yeah, and like people in motorcycle accidents and everything. I had a bunch of, like, I was talking to my grandma and like my aunt and basically my grandpa's sister, and they were just like, it just doesn't make sense. And they were saying something about like, well, if you're older and you get coronavirus, you don't present with a fever. Younger people get a fever from the coronavirus, but old people, like the people who died in nursing homes, they didn't get the fever. So the coronavirus doesn't give you fever if you're an old person. And I was like, what are y'all talking about? And they were like, yeah, the news says if you're a certain age, you don't get a fever with CV. So apparently, like a lot of the people dying in nursing homes didn't get fever, so they're just telling everybody that if you're a certain age, you don't get fever with CV. They were just like, it's so confusing. It's like, at least y'all are saying that it's confusing. Yeah, she is. Thank you, Gloria. She's such a good lady. She's like 90 now. In that picture, she's like 80. It's like 85 or something in that picture. She's tough. She's tough. I mean, she wants to just follow the rules and do what's right in society. She's not used to how bizarre society's becoming, but she's kind of catching on. I just feel like people that old, it's not their responsibility to fix society anymore. Kind of not even really ours. But, since we're the younger generation, we understand, a lot of us younger than 90, we've got to do our best. Got to do our best to keep good in the world, to keep good in morality, because we have a big moral relativity and like, what's worse than moral relativity is perceptual relativity. With perceptual relativity, I mean, they can get people to murder their neighbors and do horrible, horrible acts, and just like, oh, well, this is just the norm. This is the new normal. They just change people's perceptions to, oh, satanic rituals and lying to people all the time and murdering families. It's just, that's the normal thing, with given enough time and the way they can bend people's minds. It's a real danger, not only in moral. Well, the way you get to moral relativism is perceptual relativism. And that's a huge danger. It's already happening in our society. They've got so many singers and actors and things like that that are kind of like on that side of just like, oh, we're the anti. Let's see, you had the Sopranos, right? You got this new show, Lucifer. Lucifer does, it's like like Lucifer is a superhero or some shit, and he does some good things for cops. Like, he does good things every once in a while, but he's an anti-hero, so he does lots of bad things. And it's like they're trying to, wedge all this stuff into people's minds and into the culture that it's good to be naughty. There's this show, you got Dexter who murders people and it's somehow good. And you got this show where these ladies rob a bank, they rob people and do money laundering, but they needed money and their moms and stuff, so it's good. And that's what they're trying to do. Like, all the propaganda and mind control is about perceptual relativism, perceptual bending, perceptual management into a moral relativism, but not even a little tweak on moral relativism, inversion to like evil is good. Well, we all know this, right? We all know this. Somehow, with the way my parents raised me, the way that I'm made, and just a deep core belief and a deep core connection to God, life-affirming things and doing what's right, that is what will get humanity further. And evil and destruction for destruction's sake, and deceit and tricking people and rape and murder and all these things, they lead to the de-evolution of humankind. So if you care about your humankind as a whole, you will be good. You will do good things. You will do what's right. Now, defend yourself. There's certain circumstances that are, questionable on what you need to do to defend yourself and your family and things like that. But when it comes down to it, evolution only happens through life affirming, like a bright goodness. Like, if you're decrepit and evil and crime, it leads to tragedy. It leads to an unhappy life. Like, I can be murdered, right? I'm being murdered and tortured, and I got people B2K coming at my head, but I'm a good person. I make the right decisions even in this crap that I live in, and and I have joy, and I can't when I'm not getting sleep deprivation, I have joy, and I feel okay, you know, and I'm trying to help people, and I feel like deep down in my core, that's the right way for humanity to go. And it's not even just a like, oh, it's a human instinct or anything. It's connected to something bigger than me, something high resonance. I mean, God, right? And I think there's like a whole chain. I mean, God's like at the very top. Yeah, Karen Rose says, yes, Kyle, all about God. Yeah, we got to connect. We need all the strength that we can get. Yeah, drunken ninja said, yeah, we all need money, but we don't break laws for it, though. Exactly. You think it's the Crown? No Whining says that issue, the Crown, is causing streams to be shut down or vids of streams to be removed. Just saying currently that is the reality. Like the Crown in the UK. Yeah, Arachnonix says pure evil by its very nature is required to do some good. I don't know about that. Some pure, like psychotic, pure evil, they don't do any good. But I think when it's like politicians that are evil, or people trying, when evil has to trick good people, it has to do some good things, right? But like really psychotic evil doesn't have to do any good. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. David Irwin says, obviously up to something political with the tiny crown. They're not. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got what you're saying. You don't mean the crown. You mean the CV. Yeah. No Whining meant the CV. Obviously up to something political with the tiny crown. They're not even trying to hide it. None of the new data stacks up. Yeah. Dude, I mean, people who just listen to mainstream news all day are like questioning it. At least that's a little bit hopeful. You know, people who are completely on the mainstream bus. Yeah. Drunken Ninja says even the most evil people think they're good in their own minds. Yeah, nobody considers themselves the villains. Okay, let's watch this. This is from SGT Report. We'll just listen to it.
Hey friends, Sean from SGT Report here on Saturday, the 8th of August, with a news update. President Trump is deferring the payroll tax. He just announced a new executive order. The payroll tax will be deferred from September 1st through the end of the year for those earning less than $100,000 a year. In addition to that, he's deferring student loan repayments through the end of the year and extending unemployment benefits by $400 per week down from $600. He's also extending protections against evictions. This all amidst the phony Rona crisis. Friends, this president is taking on some of the most powerful and nefarious organizations and corporations on earth, with Big Pharma being near the top of that list.
What I've done in terms of favored nations, if, as an example, Germany has a pill for 10 cents and we have a bill for $2, we institute favored nations of the drug company, we get the pill for the same amount as the lowest pill anywhere in the world.
Make no mistake about it. When President Trump said he's doing what no other president would do.
I figure we have one chance to do it, and no other president's going to do what I do. No other president would do a favored nations, a rebate, a buy from other nations at much less cost. Nobody. And there are a lot of unhappy people, and they're very rich people, and they're very unhappy.
In truth, he's doing what no one else on the planet could do, because Big Pharma is deep state. Big Pharma is shadow government.
Big Pharma
is part of the big club. Big Pharma controls the mainstream media, politicians, and doctors.
So I wonder if what Donald Trump is saying, I wonder if he means who are the middlemen? Like the pharmaceutical, like I guess some of the corporations, he's alluding to like these middlemen. You know, he's got to go hide out because he's got some very rich people who are very angry at him. So you might not be seeing him for a while. So I guess the middlemen would be people, I guess, not the heads of the pharmaceutical companies. I'm just wondering who's the middleman? Who's the middleman? Drunken Ninja says Medicare for all ain't evil. I've got Medicare. I don't have, like, I have super scripts, but I did not pay the thing on it. I owe Superscript some money. I have to, like, get that straightened out. And the Neurontin was like $50. Neurontin was like $50. It was worth it though. It's been really helping me. Like my vagus nerves, it's completely calmed down. I didn't know how bad it was getting. Like up here, like I feel a little bit right now, but that Neurontin, it's just, and also some of the, remote neural manipulation, like laying down EEGs on my head, injecting stuff. It's like, it's calm down. I can think a lot clearer. It's pretty amazing. But a lot of people have been saying, like, be careful. They've been like, Neurontin's really bad. It's like, it'll depress you. A lot of people have a lot of problems with it. I mean, I don't seem to be having any problems yet. But man, it was really expensive. Do you have insurance on Medicare? Like, yeah, I have Medicare and I have Superscripts. I have this like prescription like insurance plan, but I haven't paid that. So Medicare pays for my like doctor's visits, but then I don't have insurance for my prescriptions. So they're super expensive. I got to get that fixed. Who's causing problems? We got people causing problems. Oh, we got people causing problems. Don't be talking crap about each other. Chadwick, come knock. Chadwick, come knock. Yeah, moderators, you decide what you want to do. Okay, yeah, Rose. Just block some people on there. Now, I've known Rose for a while. She's been really nice to me. Seems like a real target individual to me. Yeah, you watch this chat. Tansy, Drunken Ninja, whoever else I got in there. Maybe I need to make some more moderators. Some more people moderators. I don't know. I'll do that next time. Oh, yeah, man. I couldn't even imagine. Like David Irwin says, yeah, James, starvation is a slow death wherein your body devours its own organs. Can't imagine. I go for a day without eating, and it's like I'm just like so tired, can't go on. Yeah, it's not that bad. Like if I'm just playing, like Tansy says, yeah, the sound's okay now, but it gets the, I don't know what it's called, but it has a some musicians would know what it's called. It gets real loud. It gets this kind of feedback on it because it's so loud. Okay, Tanya. I can't make you a mod on oh no, I can. Okay, I made you a mod. Just don't be kicking people out left and right, Tanya. I know how you are. I know how you are. Just slapping people left and right. No, y'all just anybody who's really causing problems, time out. Karen says, life is precious. Life is a gift. I said that continually for a while to keep myself from suicide. It was so bad at that point. Then 23 Psalms and the Lord's Prayer. Yeah. Life is a gift. There's always something good. Even if you're in the worst pain in your life, and God can change those things in miraculous ways that you may not see a way out of. You may not see a way out of it. Like he's done it a million times for me where I'm like, no, like my mind has gotten so bad. The mind control has gotten so bad. They've got it. They've got it to where my life is just going to be a hell. But then just like, okay, case in point, the Neurontin. It's like I wasn't going to get on Neurontin, but I went and saw my psychiatrist, talked to her, and now I'm doing, and now it's like, oh man, things feel a lot better for now. And maybe things will get worse. Maybe my attackers will get through it, but then God will find something else to come. And it's kind of like in a big way. I know the New World Order coming in is a lot bigger than that. It's a lot bigger than even our torture and our mind control for all of humanity. But if we just keep moving forward, we do what's right, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. I know we're looking at some rough stuff, but there's still good days ahead. There's still good humanity. There's still getting together with good human beings. There's still joy in our lives, and maybe even better. Because humanity is so important. I mean, what the New World Order has planned, it's like the end of humanity. And there are forces in this universe, God at the top, that love us, So I don't know what's going to happen.
Big Pharma makes the chemical weapons delivery systems the doctors inject into our perfect little babies, and Big Pharma presents itself as the cure to the Rona. All we need in order to return to normal is their vaccine. Big Pharma is responsible for the opioid crisis and the deaths of hundreds of thousands.
Vaccine.
Big Pharma runs hit teams. Hundreds of truth-telling doctors have been suicided, and Big Pharma causes many of the ailments they then stand to profit from by curing. When Big Pharma giant Baxter International was caught red-handed in 2009 distributing live avian flu virus in their vaccine materials, containing a mix of H3N2 seasonal flu viruses and unlabeled H5N1 viruses distributed to 18 countries, who helped cover it up? The mainstream media. The same mainstream media that despises Donald J. Trump and lies about him to the American people.
The military-industrial complex is like military, corporations, universities, hospitals, big pharma. It's like and mainstream media. It's like all those people are like working for the globalists. They've got their claws on, like the top of the pyramid has their hooks in military, in medical, in media, and they control them like puppets, like all those people. That's why I'd like to have some hope that not everything is controlled. General Flynn seemed to speak up, and was an honorable man. A lot of people, it seems like a lot of politicians that seem really good and like they're trying to do something good, they compromise. It's like, could you survive for one day in that world up above, like in the upper layers of the pyramid, without compromising? Like, could you just be like, no, I'm against Israel, I'm against all this? Would you even have a chance to do anything good? So I just look at the complication. I think to us, it's like, no, you just do the right thing. No, you just speak out on evil. No, you just do, like in the position that we're in, that's what you do to get results. But I think about it further off, like in some of those layers, that if some people are like trying to get some of it back, what would they have to do to trick the great evil at the top? I listen to what y'all say about Donald Trump, and I see those things, the 5G. Just I kind of go back and forth on it. I see some good things that he does, and I'm like, hey, are there factions that really don't want humanity to be genocided? Because there are factions that are higher up in certain layers of the pyramid. They know the New World Order's plans. I mean, they know that it's about genocide. It's about clearing people off the land. It's about 500 million people. Are there some people that got up in some of the layers and they don't want the worldwide genocide? They want humanity to live on. And they're doing some things look bad, some things look good, I don't know. But I say we just keep our hope in God. We just keep our hope in Jesus Christ. And it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. And we just talk about things. James Stewart says, I'm a good person. I owe the government money. I don't think that's it though. Maybe it is. Yeah, I don't think if you like have student loans or you owe the government money, I don't think they target you like that. I was thinking like if you owed some like some organized criminals that had ties to this program or something like that, maybe they, or you know, something like that. And if you just owe the government money, I don't think they would target you with directed energy weapons. But we are targeted for many different reasons. No, Arachnonix, I don't think so. Oh, she's asking where you got your name. Nice. Hesh74 says, LOL, very few politicians seem good to me, but yeah, they have to play the game just to be there. Yeah, just to be there. I mean, just to be there. Like, think about it. Just to be the President of the United States of America, I mean, you couldn't just completely go against everything that the New World Order had set up. Like, I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Just I get this feeling from him that he's not all evil. I think it's the two faction thing. It's the two faction thing. It's the satanic kid killers, that faction versus, you know, Zionist neocons who want the New World to come in, but they want it another way. And they're both bad. And it's the lesser of two evils, which we can't pick. But when you're forced to choose like who's going to win the election, I think Trump is better. I think it buys us more time to, you know, for God to work some more miracles, right? But now, you know, I don't know.
Every single day. Make no mistake, the president is taking on some of the most dangerous and nefarious foes on planet Earth, like no other man or woman could or might dare to do.
A lot of very, very rich enemies, but they are not happy with what I'm doing.
Pray for our president. In other news, on Friday afternoon,
but see, okay, so he's saying like, okay, and that's just what I want to show y'all from SGT report. There's a lot of rich enemies and the pharmaceutical companies, but push the vaccines. He's going to use the military to push the vaccines. So why does he need to worry about the pharmaceutical companies? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If he's just going to do rebates, lose some money on that, maybe some pharmaceutical companies lose money on that, but then he's pushing vaccines. What does he have? I mean, why would he be so fearful of pharmaceutical companies? That plays into my theory, but I don't want to give you all my theory yet. It's not even that. It's like I'm building it up. But I do want to show y'all one more. I want to show